Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So the today's question is sort colors, which says given an array nums with n objects colored red, white or blue, sort them in place so that objects of the same color are adjacent with the colors in the order red, white and blue. We will use the integers 0, 1 and 2 to represent the color red, white and blue respectively. And you must solve this problem without using library's sort function. So basically it's given here that we will be using the integers 0, 1 and 2 to represent color red, white, blue respectively. That means our array will only be containing 3 of the letters, 3 of the numbers, that is 0, 1 and 2, and we need to sort them without using the library's sort function. So what we can do, we can follow one approach, like let's say it's approach 1. What we can do is we can count the number of zeros in the array, then number of ones and number of twos. So suppose we initialize it like integer 0 count is equal to 0 initially, ones count that is also equal to 0, and twos count that is equal to 0. So what we will do, will run a loop from 0 to n for that nums array. So for integer I is equal to 0, to I less than size of num and I plus plus, what we will do is, if nums of I is equal 0, then we'll say count of 0 plus plus. Else if nums of I is equal 1, then we will increment ones count by 1, and else if nums of I is equal 2, then we'll increment twos count by 1. Index is equal to 0. Now what we will do is, we'll run a loop for int I is equal to 0 less than count of 0 and I plus plus. For this we will be doing it as like nums of index is equal to 0 and index plus plus. Then for int after 0 we'll be adding number 1, so we'll be writing it like I is equal to 0, I less than count of ones, I plus plus, then nums of index is equal to 1 and will increment index by 1. After 1 we will be adding the number 2, so for int I is equal to 0 less than 2's count, I plus plus, and will be adding nums of index is equal to 2 and will increment the index by 1. At the end we'll return nums. So that code will work fine. Now what we did is we counted the number of zeros, ones and twos present, and then we reassigned the values from index 0 to the size of the n to the nums array itself. Now you might be recalling that there is a famous problem for sorting 0, 1 and 2. So we'll be now moving on to the approach 2 and we'll be coding it for the rest of the part, which is more efficient than this. So what we will do is, now suppose the nums array is, it's 2, 0, 2, 1, 1, 0. we will be having 3 pointers. Let's say the pointers would be named as red. We'll be writing it as R for now. And the second color was white and then blue. So we'll be having another one as white. Let's say W. And the third one is blue. Say B. Right now, what we will do, we'll be pointing it to the 0th index. For white pointer, we'll also be pointing it to the 0th index. And for blue, we'll be pointing it at the end of the index, that is n-1, where n is size of the numbers. So let's say this is R, this is W, and this is B. So what the algorithm says, let me firstly state it to you. What we will do is, while W is less than equal to B, we'll check if nums of W is equal 0, then we will swap nums of W with nums of R. So swap nums of R, nums of W, and we increment both the pointers. Then if it's not 0, then suppose it's 1, so we'll say else if nums of W is equal to 1, then we will do nothing but just increment W by 1. If it was neither 1 nor 0, then we will write it as else if nums of W is equal to 2, then we will swap nums of W with nums of B. And decrement B by 1. Let me quickly do the dry run for this. So initially red and white are at 0th index and blue is at n-1 index. Now what we will do? We'll see. Is nums of W 0? No. Is it 1? No. Is it 2? Yes. Since nums of W is 2, we will swap W with B. So the modified array will look like 0, 0, 2, 1, 1, 2. And what we will do is, we'll decrement B by 1. Now our B points to this position. R is as it is here. Now we again check. Is W is less than equal to B? Yes. So what we will do is, we'll proceed into this loop and we'll check. Is nums of W is equal 0? Yes, it is. So what we will do is, we'll swap R and W and increment both the pointers. Since both are 0, so after swapping, the array remains same. Only the difference would be this W gets shifted to the second index and R gets shifted to first index. Now again, is my W less than equal to B? Yes. Now is it equal to 0? No. Is it equal to 1? Again no. Is it equal to 2? Yes. Since it's equal to 2, so our condition says that swap nums of W with nums of B. So we'll swap this 2 with this 1. And our modified array would be it would be 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. And we'll move our pointers as well. B was at n minus 1 index. When we decrement it by 1, it moves to n minus 2 index. Now, what the thing is, we again check is W is less than equal to B. Yes, it is. Is nums of W 0? No. Nums of W is 1? Yes. Nums of W is 1, so what we will do is we'll increment W by 1. Now what the thing is, we come over here and we'll check is my W is less than equal to B. Now W is at index 4 and B is at index 3. Is 4 less than equal to 3? Obviously not. So we come out of the loop, and after coming out of the loop, it would be sure that our array is now sorted. So you can see that initially it was 2 0 2 1 1 0, and now you can see that it's 0 0 1 1 2 2. All the zeros are before 1 and 2, and 1 is before 2. Since it's sorted now, so what we can do is, let me quickly help you with the coding part. Okay, so starting with C++, we were having 3 pointers. Red was at 0th index, white was at 0th index, and blue at n minus 1 index, that is nums.size minus 1 index. Now what we will do is, while white is less than equal to blue, if nums of white is equal to 0, then we'll swap nums of white with nums of red. And increment both by 1. Else nums of white is equal 1. Then we'll simply increment the pointer, we'll say white plus plus. Now else if nums of white is equal 2, so what we will do is we'll swap nums of white with nums of blue, and decrement blue by 1. Let me quickly run it and submit. Okay, so quickly moving on to Java. We'll copy and paste this over there. Only difference is that to get the size of the nums array, we will be writing it as nums.length. We will be writing our own function for swap, so we will be passing in this nums, red pointer and white pointer. We'll make the changes here as well. We'll passing nums, white pointer and blue pointer. Okay, so let me quickly write it. Let's say public void swap int array nums, comma, let's say int I, comma int j. We'll create a temporary integer. Say temp is equal to nums of I. Nums of I is equal to nums of j. And now nums of j is equal to 10. We quickly run it and submit. Now it works fine. We'll be moving it with the same code and moving on to the C#. What we will do is, like in C# to get the length of the integer array, we'll be writing it as nums dot length in the capitalized format, and rest of the thing remains same. So let me quickly run it and submit. Now the answer is accepted, so we'll be quickly moving on to the Python. Okay, so in here our red pointer was 0, white was at 0, blue was at n-1, that is length of nums -1. We'll say while white is less than equal blue, now if nums of white is equal 0, then we will swap nums of white with nums of red. So we'll be writing it as nums of red comma nums of white is equal to nums of white comma nums of red. So what this particular line will do is, it will assign nums of white value to nums of red, and the value of nums of red will get assigned to nums of white. Basically, both the integers will get swapped. Then what we will do is, we'll increment red by 1 and white by 1 as well. If nums of white is equal 1, then we'll simply increment white by 1. If nums of white is equal 2, then we will swap nums of white with nums of blue. So we'll write it as nums of white comma nums of blue is equal to nums of blue comma nums of white, and we'll decrement blue by 1. That is it. Let me quickly run it and submit. All the test cases passed, and that was all for today. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like the content, then please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.